right, so we're picking up where we left off last time. If you want to follow along with me up here, I'm gonna show you how to type it in. You're gonna go to y equals, which is this button right here, like the very first top left button. Clear out if something's in there. Just hit clear, and then we're gonna type this equation. Now look, do you see that negative out front? Because you guys have been used to Desmos, which is different from these. Okay. Desmos makes no distinction between a negative and a subtraction, but they are technically different. One is an adjective and one is a verb. Real quick, like English grammar lesson. What's an adjective? It describes. Negative describes this. What's a verb? An act. Good. You guys are great English. Subtraction is an action between the two things. So they are technically different. And it really bothers me that Desmos makes no distinction between them because they are technically two different things. So listen, it's going to give you a syntax error if you don't get it right. That's basically the calculator like nitpicking your grammar. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like the calculator being that person that's like, it's well, not good. Okay. So this white button at the bottom is negative. This gray button to the side is subtract. So you have to hit this button first for that first negative. Otherwise, it's going to give you syntax error. Okay. So if you get syntax error, that just means you typed one of those symbols wrong. So we're going to hit this button for negative, and then it's x cubed. This is your x key right here next to alpha. So x to the third. Make sure you hit the right arrow to get out of the exponent. Trust me, if you write the whole thing in the exponent, you won't do it again. It's really annoying because you have to start all over. All right, minus 2x squared. Oh, whoops, I forgot the 2. All right, minus 2x squared plus 5x plus 10. Does anyone remember what zoom I told you to do? Good. You guys have good memories. Awesome. Zoom 6, and it's because that says standard. It'll put it back to like a normal window so that if somebody else was using the calculator before you and changed the window to something weird, which my calculus students do, okay, it'll put it back to like quote unquote normal for you. All right, so we need one place where this touches the x-axis. Do you see one? Negative 2? Is that right on negative 2? Hold on. No, it's on negative 2. It's just, I don't know why it's looking like that. It is negative 2, and here's how I'll prove it to you. Put negative 2 in the little box. When we divide this out, if it's actually a 0, what will our remainder be? It'll be 0. Like you will know if you're right or not. Is our countdown in order? Yes, it is negative 1, negative 2, 5, 10. So if you don't get 0, you have done goofed. That's like you're going to know if it's right or not, which is fantastic. All right. So bring down the negative 1, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Some of you are looking back at me already. Did you do it already? This is what I'm telling you. When you get quick at these, you can just churn them out like little correct answer machines. Did you get 0? It should be negative 1, 0, 5, 0. Now you have to whittle it down until you get to a squared. This one was cubed. We divided out, so we're down to a good. Go us. All right. So now we have to work out the rest of the problem to find the other zeros. It's negative 1x squared plus no x's, which you can write plus 0x if you want. I kind of recommend against that. It's just nothing. Nothing x. Yeah, it looks like ox, which is funny. Plus 5 equals 0. Thank you. And we're just going to solve that. So what would you do to start getting x by itself? This is back to algebra here. Minus 5. All right, negative x squared equals negative 5. Yeah, the negatives are going to cancel. So those are gone. And then you square root. And so it'll be x equals plus and minus square root of 5. How many answers is that? That's 2. But we should have 3. So the other one is the negative 2 that you found from the calculator. Just so that you actually understand like what we're doing here, where this hits the x-axis, it's square root of 5. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that is that answer. Okay, go ahead and flip over. Let's try another one. What you're gonna do is go to y equals, clear it out, and type that one instead. Or you can kind of just mess with what's there, whatever is your preference. Because I showed you that insert and delete key. You can kind of type, just hit y equals. These calculators, you don't ever have to like really start over. You just go to the next thing. But you can either clear it all out or you can kind of just like type over what was there. But however is your preference, just go and type in number 4 and then zoom 6. And I'm just gonna pause and make sure you can make sure yours looks like what I have up here. Hold on, the calculators are a little slow. These are very like fancy schmancy calculators, so sometimes they can be like little divas. And they can be like a little slow. None of those look exactly on a number. I think I know what it is, but maybe it's because we have that 3 out front. Do you see how there's that 3 out front? That's kind of a clue for us. Do you see how none of these are on like an exact nice number? What would your guess be for this one that's in between 0 and 1? If we have a 3 out front? Because I think it's a 1/3. Actually, let me see through. Let me see if I'm right. If you don't want to write this down, just watch me. I'm pretty sure that one's the 1/3. Because see how none of them's like an exact nice whole number? But how will I know if I'm right? You'll get 0. All right, just watch. Let me see if this is right, and then I'll pause the video. You can write it down. Is our countdown in order? Yeah, we're good. All right, 3, -25, 47, -13. Bring down the 3. All right, here we go. What's a third of 3? 1. Good. Add. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right. A third of 24 would be 8. It's just going to be -8. That'll be 39. A third of 39 is good. I was right. Okay, I'm going to pause the video. Go ahead and write it down. All right, so do you see how all of these divide by 3? That's going to happen whenever there's a fraction over here. So what I would do is divide them all by 3. It's like reducing a fraction. You just want to make the numbers smaller. So if I divide them all by 3, it'll be 1, -8, 13. Okay. And then we have to work out what the other ones are. So this is going to be 1x squared minus 8x plus 13 equals 0. As a heads up, it's not going to factor. So what do we do instead? If it doesn't factor, hint, it's like your quiz, the ones that I went over. Complete the square. Subtract over the 13. And then what are we going to add in that like gap? 16. Perfect. Question. Go ahead. So we took 8, divided it by 2, that's 4. Squared is 16. You divide by 2 and square. So what is the something squared? Yep, x minus 4 equals 3. And then just keep on going. Square root, it'll be plus and minus square root of 3. And then add 4. Good, I hope I'm correct. So 4 plus and minus square root of 3. That is 2 answers. We should have a total of 3. So the other one is your 1/3 that we got from the calculator. You okay?
Yeah.
What happened?
No, I messed up that first. That's why I said
All right, then we're going to do this last one. Go ahead and go to y equals in your calculator, clear it out. I would clear this one out because it's to the 4th instead of to the 3rd. I only try to like mess with it if it already looks sort of similar. But go ahead and type that one in and we'll make sure we all get the same thing. Just hold on, give everyone a chance to type it. So we're putting that into y equals and then hit zoom 6. Listen. You should be like, hey, wait a second. Like if you're like, hey, wait a second, you're correct. Because what's the matter? Yeah, oh, you even know why. The reason we're not seeing it is because of the plus 64. Where's the graph? It's all the way up 64 and our grid only goes up to 10. If you want to change the window, like if you care and you want to see this, if you go to window, which one of these dimensions is going to raise the ceiling on the thing? Y maximum. If I make that something bigger than 64, like here, let me make it 100, then you'll be able to see the graph. Hold on. There it is. Do you see it? Okay, so where does it touch the x-axis? It doesn't, right? Super fun. But how many answers are we supposed to have? 4. And we will get 4 answers. It's just that they are all imaginary, which means this doesn't help us get rid of it. The calculator is no help here. We're back to the drawing board. When that happens, you can't do a synthetic division. What number would go in the box? Yeah, so you can't do that. Instead, look at what you have. Do you see how you have 3 terms? Well, it's not going to be a formula, but we are going to be able to split it like you would a trinomial. It is a trinomial. It's 3 terms. It's just instead of an x squared and then an x and then a number, it's to the 4th and then squared and then a number. So how would you split x to the 4th? Good, x squared and x squared. I always bring up money because everybody understands money. It's like you have $4 and you want to hold the same amount in each hand. It would be 2 and 2, right? Right. Now we need to split up 64. You can use the calculator for that because you have a calculator. You need numbers that multiply together to be 64, but add up to be 20. So like 8 and 8 is not going to work because that would only be 16. Try 64 divided by some things until you get something that's going to work. You need them to add up to be 20. I was going to say, I think it might be 4. Yeah, 16 and 4. What do you notice about 16 and 4? What do they have in common? They're perfect squares, and that's because who wrote the problem? Me, and I was trying to make it easy for you. What symbols do you need in there to get a positive 20? Plus, adding. And then what you're going to do is set each of those equal to 0 and work it out. So we're going to set this one equal to 0, set this one equal to 0. And we should end up with 4 answers. So what would you do to solve this one? Yeah, minus, oh, good. Oh, you're ahead of me. Hold on 1 second. It'll be negative 16 square root. And so you will get plus and minus for I. Why is it I? Because it's a negative. And also to back that up, remember when we looked at the calculator and we didn't have any real answers? They're all imaginary. You're writing this down with me? All right, how about this one? What would you do to solve this one? Minus 4 square root. It'll be plus and minus 2i. So question, did we get 4 answers? Yes, because this is 2 and that's 2. All right, so hey guys, I'm going to do like one more with us all together, and then I'll give you one to try with those around you, okay? I'm Miss Cole. Close though. Oh, equals 0. I'm teasing you. I'm allowed to do that. I gave myself permission. My husband says that to me all the time. I'm allowed. I gave myself permission. Like, shaking my head. All right, so what's the first thing that we're going to do? Put it in the calculator. Go to y equals, clear out whatever you had before and type it in. As we're doing that, the other thing that you want to do besides just reach for the calculator is think about how many answers we should get. So how many answers should we get? There should be 4 answers. And I have people do this on the test. Dear Miss Cole, I have lost my mind, but I know there should be 4 answers. And sometimes like I'll give like half point for something. That won't save you on the test, but I'll give you something because it means you read the question and you thought about it. All right, I'm gonna hit Zoom 6 so you can make sure that yours matches.
Most.
So we're trying to find what? Like we type this in, but what are we looking for? A 0, a place where it touches what? The x-axis. Now, I see a bunch of them. You want to go for the one that, if possible, is a nice whole number. So where's this one? This one looks like it's on a nice whole number. 3. 3 is going to go in the little box. And when you divide it out, you will get 0. Isn't that great? Like you know the answer. Okay, I think the countdown's in order, usually for these ones it does. So 1, -6, 7, 12, -18. I'm gonna go ahead and work it out too. Just multiply, add, and make sure you end up with 0. Oops, I messed something up here. Okay, I'm good. My brain shut off for a second. I was like, wait, do you get 1, -3, -2, 6, 0? Okay, here's the thing. It was to the 4th. We divide it out, so this would be to the 3rd. That's no good. You need to get it down to 2. You can't complete the square unless it's squared, okay? So back to the calculator. I need another one. Why can we do 3 again? It bounces. The multiplicity is 2. So it's a twin. You can do 3 again. Does it count twice? Yes. When you meet people that are twins, they're still 2 people. They're each a person. So divide out 3 again, and you will get 0 again. Woo. Yay, we did it. Because I sit in this room and do math problems all day. That's it. I don't leave this room. I sit and look at these 4 walls and do math problems. You get to leave and go to other parts of the school, and I stay here and do math problems. That's why I'm crazy. Did you get 1, 0, -2, 0?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So it will be 1x squared plus no x's. You can write plus 0x. I kind of recommend against that though. I would just put nothing and then -2 equals 0. And then we're going to work that out to get the rest of the answers. What we're finding are these ones that aren't on nice whole numbers. Do you get what I'm saying? Like those are the ones we're finding. They're like, no, oh, whoops. Like these ones that are not on a whole number, those are the ones that we're finding. Oh, bless you. So what would you do to solve that? Add 2 and then square root. So it will be beautiful. That is 2 answers. We were supposed to have 4. So the other ones, 3. And good, you write it twice or you won't get your total of 4 answers. Good, that's these 2 right here. Because otherwise you won't get your total of 4 answers. It counts twice because it bounced there. So its multiplicity was 2. It counts as 2 answers. It's the same number, yes, but you get the same answer twice. Again, if you meet people that are twins, they're both each a person. Or I always bring up money. People get money. It would be like if I gave you $3 and then I gave you $3. I gave you $3 twice. It happened twice. All right, I'm gonna give you guys one to try with the people around you. Which one of these do I want to give you? Let's see. I have a ton of problems up here. All right, I'm gonna pause this and be quiet. And I want you guys to just try, and then obviously I will give you things. All right, so here's what your graph should have looked like. So, hey, kiddos, where does this touch the x-axis? -2 is what goes in the little box. Is our countdown in order? It's not. Do you see how we're missing x squared? And here's the cool thing. If you miss that, you'll catch it because you won't get a 0 remainder. Like any mistake you make, you're going to catch it because it won't work out. So it's 1 and then 0, 6, 20. One, -2, 10, 0. Confirmation on that. So it started out to the third, we divided out, now it's squared. So x squared minus 2x plus 10 equals 0. It won't factor. These won't come out nicely. So what are we going to do? Subtract 10, complete the square. Subtract over the 10, kind of like leave a little gap. What are we going to add? 1. 1's a little tricky because 1 squared is 1, but don't leave out 1. 1 is a great number. What goes in the blank? X minus 1 squared equals -9. I made sure it came out to a perfect square, so it was nice for you. Square root, and it will be plus and minus 3i. Perfect. And then last step would be add over the 1. Now that's 2 answers because plus and minus. If you want to write them separately, you totally can. I kind of like when people do that because it shows that it's 2 answers, but you don't have to. But you have to understand that's 2 answers and you should have a third one, and it is -2. It's the one you already found in the first place. You just have to remember to write it so you get the correct total.